You're watching Your Money Live.
An Australian medical 3D printing company is hoping to take on a $30 billion giant Invisalign by offering a faster, more dentist-friendly alternative. Founder of SmileStyler, Paul Docherty, joins me now from Melbourne. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. I was so fascinated in this because, you know, the 3D printing industry not that long ago was considered really, you know, a fun gimmick. But anything you read about the 3D printing industry now is just saying what a force of change it will be across so many industries over the coming decade. How did you get into it?
Oh, thanks for having me. Look, I got into the industry in 2015. I was fortunate enough to be able to do the Harvard AMP course over in Boston for 8 weeks, and in my living group, so your group of 8 when you're there studying, in my living group was the co-founder of our business, Gilad Gans, an Israeli who was the president of a company called Stratasys, the largest at that time 3D manufacturer in the world. And the thing that certainly piqued my curiosity was the fact that the 3D printers were moving, as you've rightly pointed out, away from the R&D world and the prototyping world into mass manufacture. And those two areas, particularly for us, that we have in terms of product lines, the dental was by far and away the biggest of those.
Yeah, and what are the new capabilities that 3D printing has developed, I guess, in the last few years that are so powerful that sees you now in this company taking on such a huge company like Invisalign?
So I think there's a couple of things. The first one is that certainly the machines have gotten more reliable, certainly a lot faster than they used to be, and there's a greater range of materials for us to be able to use. Certainly in manufacture, you require a really strong digital imaging, and from our perspective at 3D Meditech and SmileStyler, what we've been able to do, which is unique to us, is be able to create the algorithms and the software that allow that translation between that 3D image right through to how we manufacture at scale. And I will say one of the keys to that has been that we've brought experts in from overseas. We have a vibrant 3D printing industry here in Australia, in particular in the universities and in a number of other companies. However, to be able to manufacture at scale, particularly in the dental industry, we needed to bring in the experts, and we've done that. We've got a League of Nations down in Port Melbourne, 20 of us down there, and everything from people that we've brought out of America right through to Tel Aviv itself.
Right, so you can see some big opportunities and big dollars potentially in this space. How lucrative is the clear aligner market, and why do I still see teenagers with braces all over themselves?
So, well, take the first question. I think, look, it's the fastest growing dental product on the planet, and predictions are that growth is going to be 30% year on year, certainly for the foreseeable future. And in Asia alone, we see the potential for 100 million customers. So I think I think it's a huge market and growing rapidly. The one thing I'd say about teenagers is it's a little more complex when you're moving around teenagers' teeth, and as you know, Brooke, in the clear aligner world, you require some level of compliance. So as you put your aligner in, every 2 weeks you need to change that. You need to wear them for 22 hours a day, and teenagers are often far better served by putting braces on and making sure that you get to the end game. However, what I will say is that there's a lot of research and development going into this area, and it's opening up very quickly.
And you're specifically targeting dentists. I'm assuming this is opening up a market that will be more cost-effective for consumers, but why are you specifically also targeting dentists over orthodontists, which I understand is perhaps one of the distinctions between you and Invisalign, perhaps? Yeah,
I think, look, if you look at dentists' sort of revenue year on year over the last decade, it is in most instances going the wrong way, and so we see a lot of those dentists referring what are simple aligner cases to manage to the orthodontic community. And our belief is that those dentists can perform those cases through what we have designed, which is our phased treatment. And that phased treatment plan effectively uses technology and certainly what we've done in a manufacturing sense to make it far easier for the dentist to manage those clear aligner cases. So I think you will see, and we can tell you from our experience, up and going 7 months, 130 dentists already. We'll put 500 in total on for 2019. There is a huge demand in this market for a simple treatment plan, which is the one that we've designed.
I'm out of time, but how do you get those dentists on board? Are you literally door knocking around the dentists' practices around various markets, or how do you do it? Yeah, so certainly in a number of ways, that is certainly something that we do. We go into dentists directly. They are at the moment getting an understanding of our product, and what we're seeing from those dentists is that word of mouth is getting out, and it's a great way for us to be able to acquire those dentists certainly over the next 12 months and beyond into the 24 months. And I will just say that part of our simplicity and the way that we're going to market is reflected in the fact that we've employed a new CEO in a guy called Grant Enders, who's in FMCG terms has had 20 years experience, is a guy who is really serious about growing this business. So we're really looking forward to the next 12 months and beyond. Paul Docherty, fantastic and super interesting space that you're operating in. So thank you so much for telling us about it.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up after